Hey, good morning and welcome to another edition of the Patriot Radio News Hour. You're listening to Eric Cedarstrom, Hamburger Helper, sitting in on this beautiful 9th day of October. The Oktoberfest has started in the year 2019. It is just a wonderful day to be alive, and this show is brought to you by the Patriot Trading Group. Legal, lawful, constitutional tender, things that are tangible, things that you can feel and touch, things, well, that you can count on when you can't count on anything else. Protect your tomorrows with something that wasn't born yesterday. Call 1-800-951-0592 and put some away for you, your family, your friends, and even, yes, your enemies, because you'll have to have something. I'm joined this morning with the owner who let me open the show. It's the first one I've done, haven't opened the show in a long, long time. And I got to tell you, I just feel great today. So, Joe Jaquin, CEO, shipping clerk, janitor, all-around nice guy, working on becoming a media mogul. He's just doing it all. You got it all going, kid. How's it going this morning?
So, well, you know what? It's Wednesday. Happy hump day to everybody out there. And, yeah, you know what? I'm here. I'm alive. I'm feeling good. I'm going to say I'm looking good, you know?
I wouldn't go that far.
You know, my opinion may be a little jaded.
Well, you know, looks are all relative.
Hey, listen, I make bald, fat, and hairy sexy. Let's just leave it at that.
Looks and money are all relatives if your relatives got it. So,
Well said. Well said.
Do you know what I love about this time of year? You know, my air conditioner has been running nonstop since Easter. And it shut off for a minute.
It probably didn't know, like, what happened.
And all of a sudden it was quiet. And I'm like, wait a minute.
What broke?
What is that? So I'm like, can't be.
Honey, do you hear that?
The air conditioner went off. I went outside. You know, I got the heat pump on the side of the house, just inside to look at it and go, bah, whoosh, turn back on again. I go, not quite. You know, it's kind of like when Forrest Gump or Tom Hanks on Castaways waiting for it to catch the wind. You know, it blows the other way for a minute. Can I go now? No. So, but it's coming. The sage, the purple, you don't know, these are purple plants. Have you noticed them?
Oh, yeah.
They've just, what a year. They're beautiful. The purple sage.
The deserts look
stunning. So
awesome.
Everything's blooming. So
and,
we had a lot of rain.
Fall and the spring, the desert is beautiful.
So anyway, you know, it's amazing. We got a lot of news to cover today. I didn't even know where to start. I mean, some of the stories just won't go away. Obviously, now, a week ago, Turkey and Syria, they've been fighting for, 500 years?
It's Turkey and the Kurds.
Right, and the Kurds.
Have been fighting for, ever since the beginning of time, pretty much. They've been fighting each other.
The first aerial attack actually was from a flying carpet. That's how long this has been going on.
Somebody found a lamp.
So
they rubbed it. The genie came out.
The president can't do anything right. Okay? So now we're pulling, which we need to. We need to get out of these stupid wars. I agree with that. You know, Ron Paul agreed with that. A true conservative believes in that. Quit spending money. We spent trillions and trillions and trillions of dollars. But I don't know. You know, it's not like when we pulled out of Vietnam, like the last helicopter off the embassy in Saigon.
I want to tell everybody this as well. Don't think this hasn't been going on while we've been there. Because it has.
Oh, yeah.
This is Turkey's, 1,000 time going into Syria. And they've done it plenty of times while we've been there. So this isn't new. It's only new because they want to use it to attack the president.
So now it's just everywhere. Now it's just huge political football. But, you know, don't mess with the military-industrial complex. The perpetual state of war is very important to the economy. And, you know, God bless our president, doing the best he can do. And, I mean, he couldn't get away with it. Had he come out and gone the other way going, I'm going to fortify the Kurds and send 10,000 troops over there, oh, my God. I mean, he couldn't do anything right. There's absolutely no way to win this thing. So,
and I don't know how many troops we've got there, and I don't want to minimize it, but, I mean, what do we got there? A couple hundred?
I don't know. Yeah, I really don't know. Is that all there is?
I mean, it's not that. It's not like we got 10,000, right?
They're all been fighting with each other anyway. They just keep going. You know, we talked about that. You know, these things, they'll just sort themselves out. Someone will come to, lead everything. Someone will win, and that's the guy usually they befriend.
There's plenty of people that want to give weapons to both sides.
Well, you want to know something? You know, a lot of people don't know this, but the OSS, which was the CIA before OSS was before the CIA, they actually parachuted in. They and armed Ho Chi Minh. You know that? This was, when the Japs had taken over Vietnam in 1945 after we nuked them, Hiroshima, and they obviously they were done. So the day that they signed that they were done, they surrendered. The Ho Chi Minh actually went on national radio because the Japanese had to leave. They were done. They had to leave Vietnam because they were fleecing the country. Ho Chi Minh did the same speech that Thomas Jefferson did. You know that?
I did.
The same speech. So, all men are created equal, and just goes on and on and on. And, it is amazing. So it's just so weird how we've been meddling, and this has gone on across the Middle East and just forever and ever. And nobody knows where it all end up or what the ramifications are of this. But it'd be nice that if we weren't involved with all these and we actually could, just become a sovereign nation once again. But I don't know if it'll ever happen. If we ever were one, I don't know. So you're listening to the Patriot Radio News Hour. We're just opining on today's events, and the impeachment wheels keep going on. And again, you go back, they keep quoting Nixon again. It's like everything, the Nixon impeachment and the Clinton, and it's just everything's going full circle. There's a big difference between Nixon and Trump, however. We'll touch on that when we get back. You're listening to Eric Cedarstrom and Joe Jaquin, All-American Gold Patriot Trading Group.
By now the fighting will be close at hand.
Name of that song, Mike and the Mechanics, Silent Running. Someday we may all have to run silently. But today we're just enjoying the world, watching the lunacy go by and the comparing. You keep hearing the comparisons to Nixon. They don't like to compare Clinton. Impeachment. They don't like to do that. You don't hear much about that. But, Nixon, Joe and I were talking. It broke into the hotels. They bugged the hotels trying to steal the Democrats' campaign plans, right? Their attack patterns,
yes.
Right? Then they had tapes of him, offering money to pay off witnesses and how to squelch it. And, it's a lot different here. Where Joe and I were laughing, it's the exact opposite. Here you had a president trying to cover up a wrongdoing. Here you have a president trying to uncover a wrongdoing.
Right. So, I just want you to investigate because, let's face it makes no sense.
Yeah, it doesn't. So, I'd like that job, wouldn't you? So, but of course, Now Pelosi not calling for a vote is political ploy. They don't want to get out in front. Everybody's afraid in this day and age to stick their neck out.
Well, let's face it. That way, nobody really has to say anything.
Right.
Because the Democrats know, we really don't have impeachment offenses here. Maybe, right, they can say, well, he did this and he did that, and blah, blah, but really none of it's really impeachable. But just having the story is enough. That's what they want, is because they know CNN, MSNBC, it'll be impeach. Because before that it was Russia.
Right.
Now it's impeach. They just want the story. Because if they go to a vote, they don't get the vote, it doesn't pass, the story kind of dies. So I actually think Pelosi, if I was a liberal, she's doing the right thing. Don't bring it to a vote. You're not going to win that vote.
Right. So they're not going
that maybe you get lucky and you actually stumble upon something that is.
Well, Nixon, the vote went to House of Representatives. They voted. He's like, they're going to impeach him. So then you go to trial. He decided, obviously, not to go to trial.
Right.
So he just resigned the next day. So I don't know. Just to me, does it matter to you? Am I that far displaced from society that he's talking to the Ukraine, going, well, how's that? Because how's that investigation going to Biden and his son? Or I read it. It was something like that. The actual text of the conversation, and to me, it didn't seem like anything at all, like just normal
it seemed so little that I don't even follow it. I don't.
Right. So it doesn't bother you.
It's not even on my radar screen. Now, again, to your point, does that just mean I'm in my double J cocoon, right? And because it doesn't mean anything to me, that it must not mean anything to anybody else, right? I do that sometimes. I don't know. I guess, at least in my opinion, I think it matters if only if you don't like the president. Then I think it matters.
Well, and then the whistleblower turns out, surprise, surprise, to be a avid Democrat activist. So
Was that a shock?
Yeah, no.
Really? That's a shock, right? It's like, China wants a partial trade deal. What? That's a shock. Of course they do. Yes, we'll buy stuff, right? China's said that from day one. Hey, we'll buy a bunch of soybeans. We'll buy some pork. Will that be good enough? No, we want you to stop being a communist country. But again, is that surprising?
The NBA, the NBA apologized. You got to laugh at that. The Lakers are over there playing. Now, can a Chinese, I don't know if I can say this, can a Chinese person enunciate L.A. Lakers? Is it even possible?
The opinions of Eric Cedarstrom are solely those of Eric Cedarstrom and do not reflect the opinions of the radio stations and or Patriot Trading Group.
I just want to hear the play-by-play in Chinese. The R.A. Rakers. I mean, it wouldn't.
The Rakers.
The Rakers. The R.A. Rakers.
Well, even did you see ESPN?
No.
Put a ban out on their host.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, don't talk about it.
Oh. Yeah,
don't talk about Hong Kong.
Because the NBA, apparently.
Don't bring up now they're outraged about the Muslims thing, right? Whatever it may be. They pick a story, the human rights angle of China. Listen, they don't care. Big business doesn't care about this. And I'll just say this right now. All the liberals out there that go out and cry about this, that, and the other, right? They don't care about it. They've all done it. It's like Robert De Niro being charged with, abuse of his little assistant there. Of course, they all do it. They've all done it. Trudeau, the Canadian Prime Minister, and the black face and the brown face, and now apparently maybe he inappropriately touched a girl when he was a substitute teacher back in the day. I mean, all these things, they don't care. ESPN, they want to act like, we're for the, Trump's bad and this and that. The second they have the spotlight on them, nobody say a word.
And that's something.
Right? Because it's money involved.
That's something. So, and then to turn around, it's one thing to make a statement and just stick with it. It's another thing to, retract them.
Oh, yeah. How do we spin?
How do we spin it?
And, of course, they want to play both
corporate
sides.
America.
We want to spin it quietly.
Right.
Because we don't want the mainstream people to know that we've said, hey, don't talk about it.
So now, they're playing. The Lakers are playing.
Oh, yeah, the big exhibition. This is like all the pro teams, right? Who was it? The Bears and the Raiders were in London playing a football game last week.
And it's not on the game's not on the media because of all this. And then who's the guy who owns Alibaba? He owns what, the Houston team?
Yeah, Jack Ma.
What is he?
Is the owner of Alibaba.
Yeah.
He's one of the richest men in the world.
And he owns a team?
Well, no, he doesn't own a team, but I think he was one of the guys behind the NBA's push into China. And he had Yao Ming, who was the player for the Rockets.
Right, talked about that yesterday. Yeah, so anyway, that's just ridiculous. It's of course, I noticed the NFL on unrelated, but nobody's kneeling this year. Right?
The kneeling's kind of stopped.
I
don't know if it stopped. They've stopped talking about it. If anybody,
maybe they stopped
kneeling,
showing it.
Yeah.
So,
which is probably what they should have done from the get-go.
Right. Yeah, well, it's the press that stirs everything up. Now, in a perfect world, the whistleblower is a guy that surfaces and turns out he's having an affair with Blasey Ford. That's the perfect conservative world. That's the end of that. So I don't know. I mean, the news is out there, but it just seems, and I'm still sticking by it. The liberals are buying futures gold. Look at the trading volumes, and they're going to run gold into the election. It'll be the only thing they're going to be able to touch. And I'm surprised nobody calls our president, Mr. Trump. I haven't heard the term yet, but Teflon Don.
He's pretty close to that.
Pretty close.
Yeah.
So He's telling them, go ahead, vote, impeach. I mean, I got.
Well, he gets it because he gets what I said. Hey, they know they got nothing, but they want it out. They want the story out there. So get it over with. Let's get a vote. Put your name on it.
Then the House can pass articles of impeachment over the objections of the Republicans and then refer to the Senate for trial, right? This is an email I got from Steve. The Senate will conduct a trial. There will be a vote, and the Republicans will vote unanimously, along with a small number of Democrats, not to convict the president. Legally, it'll all be over at that point. However, during the trial, and this is what no one's thinking about right now, is the president's attorneys will have the right to subpoena and question anyone they want.
Mr. Biden and your son, will you please come to the principal's office? We'd like to ask you some questions.
The defense would like to call Hillary Clinton to the stand. So that is different than the special counsel investigation. And Nixon did that. Remember the special investigator? He had the attorney general, called the attorney general and says, fire that guy. I forget his name. And the attorney general goes, no. He goes, well, then you're fired.
Right, I think it was Jeff Sessions.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Then they put the guy, the automatic replacement, Then he goes, no. He goes, you're fired. And then who was it? York, I think, or Rourke. Finally fired the guy. Yeah, things are a lot different, aren't they? So I can't see the president getting impeached. I just can't see it. I don't see it. So, and all this just to, because they don't like the guy, which is what it comes down to. No respect for the office anymore. No respect for, that over half the country and probably 90% of the geographical locations elected this president. Nah, we don't know what we're talking about. I don't even know where to go. So, 1-800-951-0592. Dick's Sporting Goods. Turns out, they quit selling assault rifles and, anything. I think they're done with the gun business altogether. Turns out they actually destroyed all the assault rifles they had in inventory. They had them crushed and melted and just, I don't know where
it's a very liberal thing to do.
So, and another one here. This one touches really close to home. There was a study they released this morning that the average American has not got a single new friend in the last 5 years. Did you see that?
I don't mean to laugh.
It's sad.
Right, but
I'm looking at my wife going, we both looked at each other and got a blank look.
Well, I read that. And I'm like, I don't have any new friends because I don't want any,
Right. Well, a friend in need is a pain in the neck. I was talking about Monday, the Indians, the people from India, not the ones that shoot arrows and ride around with feathers that were here before us, but the Indians, I don't know, what's a better word for, I guess they're just Indians. What are they?
Indians.
Indians.
Indians from India.
So, I was talking about how they all, they all group up and they're buying these neighborhoods and that whole neighborhoods. Even the politician Ilmar, whatever her name is, talks about how the Somali neighborhoods were so nice to her. And now, look at me, I'm elected. I don't know how any of these people get elected, but good listener of ours, Patrick in Sammamish, Washington, said, I live on the email here. You can email me at Patriot77 at AOL. Patriot77 at AOL. You want to get anything out on the show? Patrick says, I live on the east side of Seattle. Close to me are 90 brand new homes. 4,000 square feet on 4,000 square foot lots. That's it. No, you got to go. They're 4,100 square feet.
That means, just in case you don't know what that means you could open your window and reach your hand out and touch your neighbor's house.
Yes. Yep, that's how they build it. Yeah, he says tall and narrow. All bought by green cards from India and China, and that's how they got here. I got to assume they're all citizens now, don't you? They came over on the visa. I mean, how you buying a house? You got kids in school. You got Teslas and new cars.
So here's why they like the visas. So in case, for those of you that don't know, I have a lot of experience back in the day on this. So the great part is the companies, when they bring them over, first of all, they pay them well below what the job actually would pay. Okay, so that's incentive number one. Incentive number two to become a naturalized citizen. So the person from India comes over and they know, hey, no, I want to become a citizen. That's part of the interview process. Hey, you want to be a citizen? Well, no, I just want to come for a couple of years. Then I'm going to go back home. Okay, we don't want you. We want the guy that wants to be here. It takes 5-6 years
to go through the process.
So
they're able to hire them at sub-labor. They own them.
And if you change jobs, the process starts all over again.
Oh.
So they know, hey, you're not going
anywhere. Isn't that amazing?
You don't like what I pay you? Oh, well. You don't like the hours that you're working? Oh, well. And so you're locked in. So they've got this lower tiered pay locked in for 5 or 6 years. And then once that happens, usually what happens is they leave that job because they're, okay, yeah, I know you treated me like a dog for 5 years. I'm going to go.
You're now free to move about the country.
Right.
So, yeah, anyway, all bought by green cards. This is Patrick's emails. $1 million to $1.2 million, 4,000 square feet on the same size lot. If there's a recession, they'll all be gone and homes will be for sale cheap. Thousands and thousands of homes like this up here in Washington. Brand new $1 million and being purchased by foreigners. Yep, that is the market. Patrick in Sammamish. He also sent a picture of a chick for a Shipsticks article. I love you guys. We'll be back.
This is the Phyllis Schlafly Report, the conservative pro-family broadcast of Phyllis Schlafly Eagles, a leading voice for the sanctity of life, traditional education, the Constitution, and American sovereignty. Now, here's the president of Phyllis Schlafly Eagles, Ed Martin.
Yesterday, we covered Planned Parenthood's court loss in the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals. You won't be surprised to hear that Planned Parenthood, of course, sought a rehearing of that case en banc, which means with a full sitting of all active judges of the Ninth Circuit. But only 11 random judges out of 28 sit en banc on the Ninth Circuit because the court is just too large. Planned Parenthood came up with the short end of the stick yet again. It drew an en banc panel that was 7 Republican-appointed and 4 Democrat-appointed judges. You may have guessed it, Planned Parenthood lost 7-4. All 4 of the votes for Planned Parenthood were from judges appointed to the Ninth Circuit by President Clinton. All 7 of the votes against Planned Parenthood were by Republican appointees, including 2 nominees by Trump, which provided the margin of victory. Planned Parenthood has since declared that it will pull out of the Title X funding program if it does not persuade another court to enjoin the new rules. Apparently, the organization would rather forego $60 million in taxpayer funding than to have to limit its abortion advocacy and referrals. Unfortunately, there is plenty of money among wealthy liberals who support Planned Parenthood, so don't expect it to close its doors anytime soon. Michael Bloomberg and other billionaires could easily fill that funding gap without making much of a dent in their own fortunes. But what this battle is really about is the credibility of Planned Parenthood and whether it can force its opponents to pay its bills while promoting abortion. Prior Republican administrations and Congresses have promised to do this, but the Trump administration is the first to actually achieve it. 2 unusually Republican draws of judicial panels in the Ninth Circuit resulted in this tremendous victory, it's true. That's one more reason that the 2020 elections are so important. 4 more years of President Trump will ensure more of these wins without relying on the luck of the draw. Those who insist that Trump cannot change our broken system should pay closer attention to these monumental appointments that he's making to our federal bench. The impact of solid constitutionalist judges that Donald Trump is appointing will last for generations.
This has been the Phyllis Schlafly Report from Phyllis Schlafly Eagles. Despite the outrageous pro-abortion stance of many liberals, the vast majority of American people value human life. More than ever, pro-life voices need to stay vigilant and be heard. At phyllisschlafly.com, we're not backing down. Please, join us in the battle for life at phyllisschlafly.com. Thanks for listening, and join us again for the Phyllis Schlafly Report.
We're back. Patriot Radio News Hour. Our toll-free number, 800-951-0592. The Dow is up 190 points because China says that they'll take a partial deal, and everyone thinks it's news. It's not. China's more than willing to buy stuff from it. I've said this from day one. They'll buy all the soybeans and all the pigs we got. But other than that, not much really there. Gold's up $9 now, $15.07. Silver at $17.75. As we continue to watch the whole market spin. Tomorrow is the big meeting, by the way. The Chinese head negotiator.
Cha-Ching, is that his name? He is. He's the Treasury Secretary over there. Cha-Ching.
He's coming over, and we'll see if they stay. They're supposed to stay ready for this till Friday.
No.
Yeah.
I remember when they brought Hu Jintao over. Bush was president, NAFTA and how great everything is. And look, he's coming over buying things. He bought 2 Cadillacs. Do you remember that?
I forgot all about it. He's going to buy a ton of stuff.
He bought 2 Cadillacs, sent them home. They reverse engineered them, and now they build them over there. Stole all the intellectual property out of them. So it's just crazy. Yeah, there was an article today about Tesla and the electric car movement. It was pretty good. It's gone because the guy who wrote it was pointing out that, how green are these cars really? And then he went through all the mining that it takes to get the rare earth minerals, to get these battery packs and, and the energy they use. And the whole thing's like a zero sum.
I'm going to have to not have you come on if you're going to be talking sense.
I know. Yeah, it's
because
terrible.
They don't want people to know this part. The amount of, as you called it, the mining and all the things that go into getting the materials to build the electric car.
The carbon footprint
yes.
that it takes.
There's really almost no difference between the footprints of the 2 automobiles, the electric and the gasoline-powered vehicles. And then, of course, the battery cells themselves, I mean, let's face it, right? We're really not sure what would happen. Could you imagine? Because these things, when they catch on fire, they just catch on fire.
Right. Kaboosh.
Right.
And the battery's not under the hood. It's under you.
I'm just saying.
I wouldn't drive one. I mean, I have no interest in. Anyway, California now is going to limit rent increases for people over the next decade after the Democratic Governor Gavin Newsom signed the law yesterday aimed at combating a housing crisis in the nation's most populous state. Newsom signed a bill at an event in Oakland. Now, they have rent control in some places, but now it's going to be everywhere. In an area where a recent report documented a 43% increase in homelessness over 2 years. California, highest tax rate, highest fuel, highest everything, and they also have the highest homeless rate. So it's not working.
Well, they're the highest.
Let me tell you something that you're going to see. It's going to be a huge story. And this comes out to, this is just like Trump, who can't do anything right. Had he put troops, to fight the Kurds or pulled them out, either way they'd have hated him just as much. It would have been the exact same response either way. California utilities now have figured out that they got sued so bad from the last windstorm, okay, that they know now they're just shutting the power off. Did you see that? They're going to turn the power off to 1 million people with this windstorm that's coming in. And actually, we're going to be in the 80s, so it's coming here too. Snow coming across. Millions of people are poised to lose electric throughout northern and central California after PG&E announced yesterday it'll shut power off in the largest preventative outage ever in state history to try to avert wildfires caused by faulty power lines. So, said it'll begin turning off power to 800,000 customers in 34 counties starting midnight tonight. Oh, the humanity of it all. Can you imagine that? Imagine being in California with no power.
It said faulty power lines, so the issue is the power lines need to be replaced.
Well, they're probably, they break in the wind, and then they hit the trees that should have been cut down but had a spotted owl in them, So they can't log anything. Yeah, I mean, it's the truth. So you go up to the Northwest, they've got signs everywhere, log it, log it, manage it, or watch it burn. Something like that. Everybody wears those T-shirts because, and you know what they do? You know what they choose to do? Just watch it burn.
Watch it burn.
I don't care. Just burn it up. So the news came now as residents in the region's wine country north of San Francisco marked the 2-year anniversary of the deadly wildfires that killed 44 and destroyed thousands of homes. Well, that was Paradise, right? The name of that town, Paradise. Do you think the people over there walk around and go, it's just another day in paradise? I don't know. So
I'm going to go with no.
Probably not, Alex. What is? No way, Alex. The utility had warned of the possibility of the widespread shutoff Monday, prompting residents to flock to stores for supplies. So you've got the similar thing to like a hurricane coming in. But wonder how long they can make it over there. It'll be interesting to see. So flashlight batteries and propane tanks for barbecues are in high demand as
what
people
happens to
prepare.
the electric car? I'm just putting it together here.
What about buying anything with credit cards? There has to be a run on the banks. If your power's not on, you can't stick the card in the thing.
If the power's not on, the stores aren't open.
Right.
Period.
You can't do anything.
They're not open.
Yeah, they can't run a cash register.
Cash register is not going to work. Nobody knows how to do math anymore.
That is true.
Plus, how do you calculate the tax? That's way above anybody's pay grade.
We sold out of lanterns this morning. The shelf's completely empty, said Howard Gibbs, the manager at Ace Hardware in the town of Lafayette, 20 miles east of San Francisco. We got just a few flashlights left, and we're down to our last couple of propane tanks, too. Oakland Mayor Libby Schaaf asked residents to not clog 911 lines with non-emergencies and urged people to be prepared. Oh, this is interesting. This is going to be quite a case study, isn't it? The city canceled all police officers' days off in preparations for the outages. We all know the devastation that fires can cause. In 1991, a grass fire torched the Oakland Hills, killing 25 people, destroying more than 3,000 homes. PG&E said it was informing customers by text and emails about where and when the power would be cut. What do you think? What percentage of the million people just wake up? This is how out of touch they are. They go, tick, click, tick, what? The power's off?
What's going
They have
on?
no idea. It's got to be a huge percentage.
It's beautiful outside. What's going on?
It's Trump's fault. Yeah, I'm sure this will all be. So either there's going to be 9 months from now a tremendous amount of babies born, like the New York power outage, or or there's just going to be protesting, and I vote for the latter. So, hey, the blind leads the stupid every day at a station near you. Wherever you're listening to this radio program, we really appreciate you taking time out of your busy lives to allow us into it. We're going to take a break for these messages and support the advertisers as they support us. We'll see you here. Patriot Radio News Hour. We're rocking and firing this morning from beautiful Deer Valley, Arizona. This show repeats again at 1360khnc.com. If you said, did he really say that? You can tune back in. And you can listen. You can just monitor the network if you're in Phoenix. We get the feed from 1360 in our ear, and I was listening to the commercial for White Dove Healing Arts, whitedovehealing.com. They have cannabinoids. It's a neat word, cannabinoid. Don't you like that? It's a
good word.
I have no idea what it is. I'm pretty sure I need them. So if you need a cannabinoid, give them a call, 866-989-9342, or go to whitedovehealing.com. Bill, he's a great guy. So I just heard it playing in my ears. I'm sure I'll find out, but I don't know what it is.
It's the CBD oil, maybe ingredient, or I don't know. I didn't sleep at the Holiday Inn, so I'm not sure.
You don't know. You wouldn't know a cannabinoid if it fell out of the ceiling and landed on your head.
What is it? I don't know.
I've been pumped up. I've been doing cannabinoids. Well, you'll never pass a drug test with those things. So, hey, Donald Trump says crooked Hillary should try it. Donald Trump dares Clinton to enter the crowded Democratic presidential field a third time after she claims she could beat him again. She didn't be here the first time. What do you mean again? So, I don't know. You know, they're putting these scooters in everywhere.
Everywhere.
I mean, and they're like, how does it work? I mean, you put a credit card in them, you ride them around, but I'll tell you one thing you don't want to do. This thing seems harmless. I don't know, top speed of warp 7, warp factor, I don't know. I think they go like 6 miles an hour or something. So, but the idea is you're supposed to get on them, you know, and buzz around the downtowns. This is your way. And then when you're done with them, you can just leave them.
Just leave it wherever you're at. Just put it on the ground and walk away.
But the one thing you don't want to do is get caught riding them after drinking. Did you know that? You can get a drunk driving on a 6-mile-an-hour scooter, and they do it everywhere. So apparently it's this huge business now. So they put these things everywhere. You know, you can see a guy in his 20s or 30s or even 40s. Me, I'm too old to get on a scooter, but, you know, hey, that's a good idea. Let's go, you know, bar hopping on the electric scooter. And the cops lock them up. They stuff them, cuff them, lock them up. You're going to need $10,000 for an attorney, $10,000 in fines, and you're going to go to jail, at least for one night, for getting on a scooter. It's the most ridiculous thing in the world. What, like you can take out an entire family? What happened? Well, he came around the corner and he wiped them out in their Suburban.
It was a drive-by scootery.
Yeah, he's killed many people. You know, I get the drunk driving thing. I get it, okay? But on a scooter, you can get one.
I'll say the drunk driving has gotten ridiculous. It really has.
Well, even the lady who started Mothers Against Drunk Driving, she switched now because she hated what the liberals got a hold of it. You know, then that's when now they want to get to zero tolerance. Apparently the lady who started MAD now works for Drunks Against Mad Mothers. So she's changed teams. So. But yeah, it's crazy. It's just crazy. The world's lost their sense of humor. But we haven't. Thanks for tuning in. You know, maybe you get a little laugh out of this. That's the idea. So it keeps me sane. 1-800-951-0592 is our business line here. There's an article in the paper today. Wallbank. Never heard of them. Kind of sounds like, what's Huawei? What's the one company we're not allowed to buy any? Huawei. This has got to be a division of Huawei. So, Huawei Bank, if you give them your money for 61 months.
That's in case you went to public school. That's a little over 5 years.
I had to ask, yeah. 61 months. They're going to give you 2.7% interest on their CD. You can't take it out. You can't do anything with it. You know what? And I'm not even sure that that's amortized. I think that's just what you get. 2.7% if you give them their money. Now, what year is that? So,
that would be
2024?
24, almost 2025.
2025, yeah, about 61 months from now. Okay. Joe's got U.S. $20 liberties. This is the Patriot CD. I can't believe how close to spot you can get these things. We got spot at 1,510 or something in there.
Yeah.
So, at how much did you say?
$1,575.
$1,575.
And I'll tell you what I'll do. If you buy 10 or more, $1,565.
Wow. All right. So now at $1,565, you need that coin in the by 2025 at one point to match the Wallbank CD to be worth about $1,600 and change. What do you think's going to happen? Call 800. Get your own CD. The Patriot CD.
951-0592. That's amazing. And they took out a half-page ad.
Half-page ad. I remember, man, that when you could get 20+% on a CD. Yeah. Anyway, 1-800-951-0592.
They fixed everything. Don't worry. They guaranteed. Because remember, we were told all in the 80s and the 90s, even right up to the financial crisis, when you got to 55, you sell your stocks, right? You buy bonds, and you get yourself a CD at the bank, and you live off the interest.
Right. That's all you got to do. Get out of equities,
right?
Because they're too risky. And they build a little ladder. You could build a CD ladder so they would all mature, different times, and you kept renewing them. Everybody had them. Now we call them CDs or certificates of depreciation. Go show them to your banker. He'll start laughing at you.
Hey, even the banker's going to look at it like,
what?
I'm not even going to pitch a CD.
You have one of those? Anyway. 1-800-951-0592, the Patriot CD, U.S. legal, lawful, constitutional tender. How much does your CD certificate weigh? Just add a little weight to your portfolio. You may be glad you did. Yeah, we're going to talk about, we're probably going to talk about anything we want to talk about when you get back. Retirement was a good one. How about Feds wanting to cut rates with markets at all-time highs? Anybody see that one coming? Anybody? Bueller? You're listening to the Patriot Radio News Hour on this beautiful 9th day of October 2019, the year of our Lord. It is final segment, 9:54 a.m. here in the Valley of the Sun. Well, if you're like me, before I got up, now I'm doing a little radio. For that, you might just be waking up. If you're retired, waking up going, who's this guy? Well, it's a great day to be alive. Apparently it isn't just here, but also in Germany now. Germany's revealed that hundreds of electric scooter users lost their driver's licenses after riding them drunk at the October Beer Festival in Munich this last weekend. A total of 414 people were caught riding e-scooters while under the influence. What a huge... Because it didn't make any sense to me. These things are laying everywhere.
It's Oktoberfest.
Oh,
I know.
God.
Let's throw scooters everywhere. You go to Old Town Scottsdale, right? This is the big touristy area of Scottsdale. How many scooters do you think are on the streets down there? Thousands.
They're everywhere. They're eyesores.
Everywhere.
But now you know why they're there.
Drunk driving.
Huge revenue. 414 people in one weekend in Munich. You know how many Deutschmarks that cost to get out of that deal? I couldn't imagine being in court going, what were you doing? Oh, I was on a scooter. I don't know. I mean, they're serious about it. That's why they're there, by the way. You know what just huge revenues. Joe, they opened the QE window. What is this, QE number 1,002,400 gazillion
yesterday, and this is probably more of the reason why the Dow's up versus the, China wants a partial deal. Jay Powell announced yesterday, and of course I told you this months ago, the start of QE4 has begun. But Jay Powell does not want you to call it quantitative easing 4. So therefore, it's not QE4 because now they just want to make sure there's enough liquidity in the market, which was the exact reason why they did QE 1, 2, and 3. But yes, the Federal Reserve is going to start increasing their balance sheet. This is how moronic these people are. We are, all of us, listen, we're all in the same boat. We all need dollars, right? We got to pay our bills in dollars. These are the people that are in charge of dollars. They just announced, a year and a half ago, we're going to shrink our balance sheet. And these morons now, did we say shrink? I meant we got to raise the balance sheet again. They were supposed to get rid of like $3 trillion off of our balance sheet. They made it about $500 billion, and they had to stop. And now, yesterday, Jay Powell said the central bank will once again be buying U.S. debt.
Isn't that something?
Because the banks they can't. It's like, okay, well, I can either make payroll.
Right, make payroll.
For all the companies that bank here.
Or take the QE money
or buy the Treasury debt at the debt auction. What one would you like us to do?
I'll take paying the bills for $5, Alex. But anyway, the Dow loves it. There was actually an article saying the stock market is kind of scary, can never go down again because the Feds will open the QE window every time it starts to fall. Henceforth, ergo, the Dow up 185, sitting at 26,349. The S&P 500 up 25 points at 2,918. The NASDAQ up 82 at 7,900. Gold up $8.10, 15.12. Get your Patriot CD. Call us collect, call us direct. Would call us today. US $20 gold at $15.75. You buy 10 or more, you go $15.65. Save yourself $100. We're talking about real money for real people. Call us collect, call us direct, call us today. God bless everybody. Thanks for getting involved. Without you, we wouldn't be here. See you again tomorrow. Bye now.